Hi there, it's Danny Valencia here with My City Nest, and today I want to share with you the first of 5 mistakes that I see sellers make when selling their house. Now, the very first I want to start off with is pricing your house far too high. It's understandable that sellers want to not only sell their house, but they want to sell it for the most amount of money. And yet one of the things that I always say to my clients is that your house is never going to achieve a penny more than the best offer obtainable from the best buyer available in the current market. Now, one of the things that you're going to do is when you go out and do a proper market analysis and you come back with the research and the data, and you then decide to actually price the property above what the evidence is saying that your property is worth, is that you may end up with a property that's been on the market for a very, very long time. And let me tell you the problems that's going to happen with that. There's 4 potential problems. Number one is that the very first 3 to 4 weeks is going to be critical for the marketing of your property, and you have a certain momentum in that time frame, which in most cases is very, very challenging to get back, and you do not want to lose that momentum. So that's the very first thing that you're going to miss out on. The second thing is that you're very likely going to be helping your competition, because let's face it, if a buyer comes in and sees your property and then goes out and sees another property which is similar, or dare I say it, in a better condition, you know, where do you think they're going to make an offer? They're going to make an offer on the best value property, and therefore you're going to be helping the competition. Now, the third thing is with buyers, if they see your property that's been on the market for a very long time, a very long time, by the way, is more than 2 to 3 months, then in most cases, they're going to think there's something wrong with it. Now, I don't know if most of you know this, the most common question that a buyer actually makes before they go out and view a property, or even going in to view the property, is how long has the property been on the market for? And the reason for that, quite frankly, is the longer your property is on the market, the less the buyer perceives your property is worth. And you do not want to be in that position where your property is on the market for a very long time and the buyers quite simply want to make silly offers. Now, the last thing is, if your property's been on the market for a very long time, very likely at some point you're going to want to make a price adjustment, because ultimately there's 3 things that sell a property. Let's say you're with a great agent and that agent has done a great job and the presentation looks amazing. The exposure that they do is the best exposure you're going to get from any agent. Then that only leaves you with pricing. And those are the 3 things that sell a property. You're going to adjust your price, and what's going to happen again, buyers are going to see your property that's been on the market for a very long time, and now suddenly there's a price adjustment. That's kind of going to reinforce the idea that there's something wrong with your property, and you do not want to be in that position. So the way that we price properties, we have 3 ways. So number 1 is we price at the top of what the market value is. We price at market value, and we price under market value. Those are 3 strategies, and they're very closely tied into what kind of marketing strategy we're going to take to your property, and each property is different, and that's something that we'll be more than happy to discuss with you in terms of what's best for your property. So feel free to give us a call. I'll also be sharing as to the other 4 mistakes that I see are very common when sellers are selling their house. And another video we're going to be sharing, by the way, is how you can go about finding out the price of your property. And of course, you're never going to have the resources and the tools and the system that a professional agent has, but you're certainly going to be better placed to be able to do that, rather than just looking at Zoopla and Rightmove, which unfortunately doesn't really give you the best indication as to what your property is worth, rather what properties are being actually on the market for, which is very different. Thank you guys for watching, and look out for the next 4 common mistakes that I see. Cheers.